Hello everyone, it is Mike here and welcome to the adult cartoon Gold Rush. So we did the horror characters before, and now we're going to give the adult cartoons a chance. We got Peter, we got Homer, we have Bender, Hank Hill, Eric Cartman, Rick Sanchez, BoJack Horseman, and Nathan Explosion. That was kind of the controversial pick. I could have probably filled somebody else in there, but I didn't want to. I wanted to see him in this Gold Rush. So we're kicking things off with Peter Griffin versus Homer. And we're going to do this in 3 parts, just like we did the last one. And hopefully we get some... I didn't build a custom ring this time. I think we're going to switch between Raw and SmackDown. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. But I thought this would be cool to do and a good idea. And, of course, we can have more ideas for the Gold Rush also. So Homer versus Peter, I think they're the 2 most known. Eric Cartman's probably in the discussion too. I can't really tell you who the greatest is because it all depends on your taste. You know, the humor on The Simpsons, Family Guy, and South Park are all different, in my opinion. So it's all about your humor at the end of the day. I haven't seen enough South Park to determine if it's better than Family Guy, but I'm almost there because I'm to the point where I think it may be better. But I haven't seen enough yet. I've only seen like 4 seasons, but it's getting close to overthrowing Family Guy for me. As for The Simpsons, I've only seen probably a couple episodes. I played Simpsons Hit and Run religiously. But, and I saw that horrible movie. Don't even get me started on that. But, I would have to watch more of that to determine who's the best of the 3. But I can already tell you, The Simpsons humor doesn't go over as well with me as much as Family Guy and South Park. If you compare that South Park movie to that Simpsons movie, whew, it's a lot better. Let's just say it's about 1,000 times, 1,000,000,000,000 times better. But I do like some of the Simpsons characters. And I do love Hit and Run. I used to play that all the time as a kid. It was kind of the thing to replace Grand Theft Auto. So that was the only thing I really had. But anyway. So I picked out 8. I should have probably put in Bob Belcher for the last one. Or I could have put Archer. I always forget to put Archer in these. But I put Nathan Explosion in because, you know, I watched all of that show. And I feel like I could put him in at 8. But there's tons of adult cartoons that, oh, here we go. Here we go. Some things never change. And I'll tell you all, I set up this custom match. This is a custom match made by me. And I have never recommended a ladder. I know that for a fact. I set the weapons, and a ladder's never one of them. And for some reason, it catches the table, because I never see the table, but it doesn't stop the ladder from happening. So, my apologies on that. That's kind of a bummer, but whatever. But, I mean, in the last Gold Rush, they actually used it effective. How they used it. We'll see if they actually pull it off again. And this will be a 3-parter. We'll do the first 2, part 1, the next 2, part 2, and then the final 4 and the finale on part 3. So part 3 is going to be longer. And there goes Peter on the ladder, and we'll see what Homer's going to do. And, of course, just goofing off, you know, just being absolutely lazy, which does fit him, kind of. I guess, I don't know enough about Homer. I think he's a hard worker, though. He works at that plant, but I don't know what all he does. So, I can only tell you a little bit about The Simpsons. There's a couple characters that I love. I like most of the family, minus Grandpa. Grandpa's kind of annoying. But I do like the family. I can't stand Ralph. He's probably one that, and his dad also, are 2 characters I don't like. I like Apu. I like Apu a lot. But I don't know a lot about the characters. I don't know a lot about their arcs. So I'm just basing this off of Hit and Run. basically, when I say that. And Mr. Burns, kind of cool character. Krusty the Clown, also. The comic book guy's very annoying. I think there's a mission in Hit and Run that involves the comic book guy that makes me not like it. So that's one reason I don't like it. And, oh my goodness. And Peter Griffin there. Wow. What a great start. I mean, they've both been doing a lot of damage here. A lot of damage to kick things off. And look at that counter there by Homer. And Peter striking Homer. And doink! That's what he would say, right? I like Homer's missions in Hit and Run. I even like Lisa. I think she's a good character. I think you play as Homer, then it's Bart, and I don't know if Marge is in the mix-up. I know Apu, I think you play him for a couple levels, I believe. Or, no, at least one level. But I don't know how many missions he has. But I always liked Apu's car in that game. And, Peter, he's setting up Homer here, and what a counter. What a counter there by Homer. And Homer may have just put in one of his perks, one of his finishing perks. And Peter may be in trouble. Look at Homer's finishing stats here. And look here. Uh-oh. And if you can lift Peter, I mean, that's already amazing. And looks like a jackhammer kind of for Homer. And by the way, a good kick out there. And by the way, shout outs to Lucas. He made both of these. So make sure you download them so he can make more. Because I think you have to have a certain amount of downloads to get a certain ranking or status. So I'm sure he doesn't have trouble with getting downloads. I'm sure he doesn't. Because I'm not the only one that likes his stuff. But make sure you show him some support, He's done a really good job on these. And look, oh my goodness. Look at Peter torturing Homer. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I love that move by Sheamus. And my mom, funny story. There's this moment. My mom will watch wrestling with me sometimes. And there's this one particular moment that made her laugh so hard. She loves it when Sheamus does that move. She loves it. She thinks it's funny, but in a torturous way. It's just, she's laughing, but she doesn't want to laugh when he does that move. But in one of the greatest matches I've ever seen, one of my favorite matches, in War Games with the Bloodline versus, Sheamus's crew and Drew. Drew and all of them line up the Bloodline on the ropes. And they just do it 20 times to everyone. And I mean, it was so bad that a couple of them just fell. But my mom laughed so hard to the point where she was in tears. And every time I show her, now every time I see that move, I think of her. So I love that. And, man, and she also loves when Pete Dunne bends fingers back. She also loves that. She just thinks it's hilarious. And anytime Paul Heyman gets hurt. But my mom is a peaceful woman. It's just certain things, she just can't help it. There's just certain wrestlers that make her laugh. But that move in particular is the one that does it every time. Because it's just, I think it's a great move. I love it. And look here. Oh, my goodness, another jackhammer. And will Homer get a point here? Wow, somehow Peter kicks out. And reminder, everyone is a 99 or a 100. And the reason why they're not all 100 is because I don't think the super heavyweights can beat 100. And that's the only reason why. But they have the weight advantage. So I think it evens out. And what a broad kick there by Peter. Wow. So he's got the Irish moves. Or is Sheamus... Oh, I'm going to embarrass myself here. I don't know where Sheamus is from. But I think he is from the UK. I know that. But I always get like... Maybe I'm thinking of Drew. Drew's from Scotland. Yeah, Drew's from Scotland. There's Scotland... In the UK, I believe it's Scotland, Wales, England, and Ireland. That always confuses me. There's a couple of them that confuses me. Like, for an example, I didn't even know about Wales for the longest time. They were the last one I found out about. But I've done some research on maps and stuff, and I had a really good geography teacher. If I had one thing good in high school, I had good geography. But I know the United States more. And Homer, with the spear, he's going to try to tie it up, and that was a great spear. And now it is 1-1. So it is officially a tie. And another great counter by Peter. And that was a big one, too. And that gives him an opportunity to do this finisher. Oh, wow. And here comes another broad kick. And Homer may be finished. Wow. I actually thought that would last longer than it did. But they stayed in the ring for the most part. You know, the horror genre, they went outside and goofed off and everything. I'm almost 100% I put it on slow momentum. You all didn't see it, but I did. But that was pretty quick. Still 10 minutes, around 10 minutes, so that's good. And now we are going to our second fight. Hank Hill versus Bender. Let's go. That Raw screen, I don't know what's wrong with it. It's acting real slow here, but Hank Hill versus Bender. And I like Futurama. I don't think it's the funniest show. I have only seen one episode of King of the Hill. I have a friend that people used to make jokes about that he looked like Bobby. But besides that, I don't know anything about King of the Hill. I know they drink beer outside and stuff. But look at Bender already going after Hank Hill. So I like Futurama better, but some people, I mean, it just depends on your taste on this. It really does. And Bender is beating the tar out of Hank Hill. Poor Hank. What did he do to deserve this? Yeah, I think Futurama's entertaining, but I don't find it as funny as South Park or Family Guy. I think Dr. Zoidberg's the funniest character, and Bender will probably be my second favorite. But all the other characters, I mean, I just don't... I think it's made by the same people that made The Simpsons, so I just don't... I don't like that humor as much. But I do like stuff about Bender, and I love... Dr. Zoidberg, I think, is the funniest of the crew. And I've probably seen about 3 or 4 seasons, so I don't know. I'm not an expert on it. So maybe it gets funnier later on. It is funny, but like Futurama and Rick and Morty, I can laugh a little bit, but I enjoy the story, especially Rick and Morty. Not all the jokes hit for me, but I still enjoy watching it. I think I've only seen 3 seasons of Rick and Morty. And a kick out there by Hank Hill. When it comes to comedy, it's just difficult for me. There's only 3 shows that can really do it. And it would be Family Guy, South Park, It's Sunny in Philadelphia. Those are the 3 shows that can make me laugh. Like, when I say laugh, chuckling is one thing. When you laugh when you start crying or you laugh out loud, that's the laugh I'm going for. So all these other shows, they don't make me laugh like that. There may be a couple good laughs, and I'll tell you what I'm not laughing at. This ladder that's driving me insane. It just will not stop. And last match, of course, it was not used. And when will they ever give that up? It's just driving me crazy. The last match was competitive, though. It was 2-1. So I like seeing that. We didn't see a lot of that in the last Gold Rush, but it was shorter, probably by 6 minutes or so for the average. Which I have put these on slow momentum, but I guess it all depends on the characters. But, I mean, these characters have also been, and here we go. Bender's probably been drinking beer because, I mean, look, come on. Yeah, he's on something. Hank Hill with another big shot to the stomach this time, and another one. And Bender and Hank Hill are battling it out. This may be a shorter one than our first one that we did. I mean, this may turn out shorter, especially with the first one. And no points have been scored yet, but they are beating the tar out of each other. Too close to call who's going to win. Yeah, and I'm not going back to Futurama anytime soon because I'm working on South Park, like casually working on it, like maybe an episode or two every week. And like for a while there, I was going like hyper speed on South Park, but then some other shows came out and I've kind of slowed down, and I kind of watched, I got up to the movie and I watched that. So I think I'm near the end of season 5 right now. So I'm doing pretty good on that. But I mean, June was a crazy month. You'll probably be seeing this in July or August, but June was a crazy month because I mean it had The Boys, it had The Bear, it had House of the Dragon, and I even watched Acolyte. As much as bad reviews as it's gotten, yeah, that really knocked South Park on the bottom of the totem pole after that, because I mean I have to see those shows. The Boys in the House of the Dragon and The Bear, they put all that out, of course, at once. Those are some of my favorite shows right now. By the time you see this, most of them will probably be over. I know I've already finished The Bear, so because they dropped the whole season. I hate when they drop the whole season. I really do. It's okay to drop 1 or 2 at a time, but the whole season's too much. And it's not good for like, and this time will Bender do something? Oh my goodness, I hate that ladder with a passion. I hate that ladder with a passion. And look at that nice roll up. And a kick out there by Hank. No points yet. Bender's teasing Hank. Oh, man, Hank with a nice move there. And look at Hank. Oh, and Bender with a counter. So there, wow, counters are going back and forth here. And the Superman punch locked in by Bender. Oh, man, that is a metal punch. And somehow Hank Hill survives. I don't know how he did it. And Bender's just going to keep it up. He's going to keep on applying. And look at that kick. I mean, that moveset's incredible. And really, cameraman, really? You're horrible. What a horrible camera angle. How do you even shoot that? It's that ladder. It's that stupid ladder that keeps on making me angry and upset. But Bender does get a point out of it. The ladder didn't do him any justice, though. That's for sure. That filthy ladder. I can't stand it. Makes me so mad. And Hank going for the bear hug. He's going to have to squeeze the metal out of Bender. And that's not going to work. Oh, now Hank's got a plan. It's the dizzy move. The dizzy. Oh, but, ooh, okay. Not as many spins around, which is good. Because that made that move terrible. But Hank Hill just got a point from that, and it is tied up. It is tied up. Hank is back in action here. How many points? How much moves does Hank have? And he's going for another pin. Why not? He just did a big move. And it's over. Wow. That was quick. So this is going to be a faster one than usual. But what a comeback by Hank Hill. And it will be Hank versus Peter in the next round. So that'll be fun. Wow. But it's going to be a quick one this time. I usually like them longer, but hey, it is what it is. And that just gives you a preview of, we got one half of the Final Four determined. On the next one, we will be doing Nathan Explosion and BoJack Horseman and Eric Cartman and Rick Sanchez. So that will be a lot of fun. But we've already established half of our Final Four. And I guess I put it for the $1 million title, whatever. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. Sorry it was so quick. I didn't expect it to be as quick as it was. But I'll see you all later. Thank you.